Quiet on the set. Here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hello, everyone. I'm Dear Myrtle, your friend in genealogy, and we are not live on YouTube yet, are we, Cousin
Yep,
Russ?
you are.
We
You are
are?
now. Yep, I see it.
Oh, that's exactly what I wanted to hear. Thank you so much. Gosh, that was quite a delay. Anyway, welcome to Myrt's Journal. You know that this channel is about crafting journals to tell an ancestral story, one anecdote at a time. So this was the project that I'm planning to show Heather when she comes back next week. And let me take the middle parts out, the signatures as we call them. When last we met, I took the canvas, used some of my collage podge, way too much. I had to really scoop it off, was an adhesive so that it could accept this fabric. Now, I thought this was a kerchief, but it's actually, Cousin Russ, it was actually a napkin from Hobby Lobby. It just happens to be my favorite colors. Now, I purposefully did the sewing around the edge with different designs and in a darker color than I normally would have picked for this light colored cover. I would have done it in white. But did you see I added some decorative stitches, Cousin Russ?
I did. I see that. Very clever.
Yep. And the fact that there are different things all on one page is something I've seen some of the very reputable journal makers do. All right. So let me talk to you about the insides, and we're hoping that our Katie will join us. Her sound wasn't too good, so she's rebooting. Now I have two signatures that I've been working on for the inside. Notice that I did not yet sew them on this rollover spine. It's a little different. The way that these signatures will be attached is owing to some of this. I always keep the extra roll wrapped around. It's called round cord elastic, and I think it's like doesn't say how thick it is, but it's pretty thin if you ask me. There she is. Sounds like she's coming in. And that's part of what Katie did in explaining things to us yesterday. Okay, here we go. Try your mic, Katie. Let's see if we can hear you.
My mic's working. Is my
It's you're totally breaking up again. I don't know what to tell you. Yeah. So why don't all right, so why don't you mute your
the loggy.
Oh, okay. All right, well, let's do this. She's okay. Okay, dear. Thank you. Russ, maybe you can write to her in a Facebook private message to give her some advice. I would suggest that she just attend and not have her webcam on whatsoever today. See if that helps. Anyway, you will recall that yesterday when Katie's mic was working that she explained in her journal, which is taller than mine, she was going to use elastic to put the signature in and then later be able to remove the signature if she wanted to take it on a short day trip. All right, we've just got too much happening here, so I'm going to mute your mic as well, Katie. Thank you. It's just not working. So there's one signature in without any sewing. In fact, that's the first kind of a journal I made, was one with an elastic method for holding the signature in. Okay, looks like we've got Mike here. Thank you for joining me today. I'm glad your internet's working. Okay. This is the second signature. They each have several pages of coffee dyed paper that I've been adding things to. And we're going to come back to this in a minute. I want to show you what I ended up doing with my 52 Things journal for the week. I took the advice of our Lucy Doodle Doo and have used some of the cast off fabric to tie it. Let me zoom in just a slight tad. Okay. So you notice that I have used this little rope instead of black ribbon as I had thought. My ribbon that's wide enough was green, dark green. But does that look like a W to you, Cousin Russ? I hope it does.
Sure does, sure does.
Well, my grandma Myrtle, this could be an M for Myrtle or a W for Wiser, her maiden name. But I thought the white set off very well the borders of this particular envelope. So all I have left to do is to write the story here for my grandchildren so that they'll understand how crazy we are in our family there with my dad and my grandmother for playing checkers. So that's our plan and why I did it. And yeah, well, it looks like Andrew's here. Okay. And I see why she has a little graphic that she plays, Cousin Russ, because when you bring somebody in, they're on screen momentarily. Anyway, I think that's going to be a cute addition to the old steamer trunk upstairs.
Oh, you got it done.
Yeah. Go ahead, Russ.
Very good.
Yeah, thank you.
What I didn't recognize on Tuesday was why what you started with was red and black until just now.
Oh, because of the checkers.
Because of the checkers.
Mm-hmm. In fact, when I was actually at Walmart and I saw this, and it made me remember this card. This is very a sentimental thing for me. To see a mother's love for her son, dearest Glenn, and all that. Yep, that's the red and black theme that we're going with. And the only part that I will edit is this page. And I'll probably have to print because most of my even middle school grandchildren cannot read handwriting. They can read.
I think you ought to make it a mystery and do it in cursive.
I could do it with a little legend. I'd have to include a legend so they could decipher it. It's like a decoder ring kind of a thing. Okay, so that is the progress I made on that journal.
Awesome.
Yeah, thank you. All right, so we talked about the cover in the warm-up. Now I'm going to tackle some of the insides and show you how journalists like me, journal crafters, embellish their signatures. Okay, this one was pretty easy. This cover of this first page of this signature has a little envelope, a side opening envelope with a journaling card inside. And Cousin Russ, you can probably note that I chose a dark color for this little tab so that it would show up because there's a lot going on. It's kind of busy crafting paper that I'm using. Another thing to tell you about this, if we were to look at just the tea-dyed paper, it's just ordinary printer paper, Cousin Russ. It's actually stronger once you tea-dye it. But I'm very careful to be sure that I put something firm on the page, at least on one side, so that it makes it easier to turn without tearing. Does that make sense?
So your tea-dyed pages came from the making of stash.
Yep, when we did that demo and I was upstairs in my kitchen. Hi, Katie. Oh, we're going to have you watch on the YouTube side. I'm so sorry that it's being wonky today. All right, I'm glad you're there and that you're okay. I had to demonstrate for him how you use elastic for each one of your signatures. But anyway, yes, this is the tea-dyed paper. Well, actually coffee-dyed paper, that because I used coffee that time. All right, so this is a tuck spot, and all it is a triangle of interesting paper folded over so that this side where you will be putting in various things won't get chewed up. Sometimes if the paper's very thin, you can, let me get this off the floor, you can put something like an old book page on the inside of it to make it triple layers. These are journaling cards that I've previously made that are part of my stash. This one I've sewn around the edges. And this is what it's going to look like. I think this is too much, but I want to embellish this a little bit. So I'm thinking I'm just barely going to add, let me get a little ink, just for definition of this one. There we go. Now this is a bit of a cluster that we made. I don't think I did this with Heather. I think I just did it with my channel subbies. And Cousin Russ, we're used to not counting numbers, but I'm really excited that I have now 200 subbies over here on Myrt's journal. That's 200 people that are interested in telling one ancestral story at a time, possibly doing this paper crafting.
And you got 6 people watching right now.
Well, thank you. Yeah, you got a Windows update, Kathleen? Katie? Your computer's very slow today. Yeah, that's the problem. All right, because I have this firm corner pocket going to the edge, I can be assured that this page will survive. All right, now we have to figure out what to do with this page, and I have a couple of ideas. The first concept is I think I'm going to make a different tuck spot here with a journaling card that pulls out this way. But the back of it is not ready for us to write on. It's pretty busy, isn't it? So the easiest thing to do is just get some more of our wonderful coffee-dyed paper. Okay.
Going into the stash again.
You bet. You bet. Okay. There's also a little teeny white edge along here. I'm going to decide which one. I think I want this side up for the distinction between the two colors. I think this is too similar. And those are the thought processes that junk journalists, as they call this, have to go through. All right. So we will use our glitter glue along the edges. And a little bit in the middle. This stuff dries so fast. There we go. That you really have to be careful when you put it down on the page, because there's no picking it up again. I can always trim if necessary. And I call this my wallpapering tool, even though I haven't used it with wallpaper. What I'm doing is in effect, I am spreading that glue around. Okay. And that helps to flatten it out. Now I have some very large scissors by Tim Holtz that happen to be straighter than any scissors I've ever seen or used. Let's go just a tad farther. And comes in perfect for jobs like this. But that way I don't have to try to measure the coffee dyed paper. I just use the card on top as its template. All right, so we'll add a little bit of ink around the edges. And I missed a little part here. There we go. And that part where the white's showing is really bugging me. I hear giggling, Andrew.
I'm glad you said that because it was bugging me too, but
Oh,
I wasn't
good.
going to say anything.
You're a gentleman and a scholar, sir. Yeah, it was. But
A scholar, I'll admit to. The gentleman, that's an insult.
I hear you. Oh, the things we have done over the years. All
Oh,
sorts of different projects. All right, so this will just add interest and intrigue. I could imprint lines if I wished. That the interesting part is getting this little guy, the little pull tab, glued on. And before I do that, I'm going to antique it a little bit on it, just a little bit. You barely can tell the difference. Probably only another journal maker would notice it, but I notice it, so I'm going for it. There we go. The great thing about this art glitter glue is that it has this very pointed nozzle, so pretty easy to put the glue precisely where you want it. All right, so we'll just affix this here, just eyeballing the middle of it there. It's not quite the middle, but that's okay. And to make this, which I had originally thought would be a journaling card, in order to make this a pocket, I need to hold it where I do not want to put the glue and put the glue in a U-shaped pattern. And so we shall do that. Now the real pros, and I'm still learning all this stuff, get it right on the edge the first time. I need a little help. I have to go over it twice. Now this particular journaling card that's now a pocket has fabric plus old, well, this is from just an old book with florals and some old music. All right. Another thing I'm going to do, I have a tool that specifically rounds off the corners because I think it is always easier to insert these with rounded corners. And I think it looks friendlier too. Now, another thing I could have elected to do would have been to cut a little half circle right here, but I'm not concerned about it. It's pretty obvious there's something here to pull out and to observe. All right, here I have a different thing. Started out with very lightweight crafting paper in this pattern. And you'll see I've taken it over on both sides. What's in between it is book page. Can you hear how firm that becomes with glue on both sides in the book?
Yep,
Yeah,
yep.
It's really nice. It's amazing. All right, so there's several ways to attach this. My goal is to have it be in that lower right corner because remember I want to make the edges as firm as possible. All right, but if I put glue here, or here. I mean, where am I going to put the glue? I want this to be able to flip up and reveal more of the story underneath that little flip. That's called a flip. All right. So what I'm going to do on this side is make this a pocket to put something, probably not this, but you get the idea. So that tells me that when I apply the glue on this side, I need to go in that U-shaped pattern. And there's some of that white. Close your eyes. I'm going to cut it away, Andy.
Okay.
I'll do it off screen if necessary.
That's all right.
All right. Okay. So that's the part that's going to flip. This is the part that's going to become a pocket. All right. Flip and pocket. So this is the one, and we can do it. Only to the fold and up. Okay. It's a little nerve-wracking, but we can do it. Okay, so what I'm doing is matching the bottom on the flip side, making it not quite to the fold so that it will be able to accommodate a journaling card on this side. And I hold my breath, a couple of Hail Marys, and it gets in there, and it's good. All right, see, now it flips. And let me get my bone scorer, help that get flatter. We may even clamp that down, I don't know. But now we would be able to call that a pocket. And of course I decorated it up, etc. I'm going to leave this in here just to remind us what it is. Okay, I haven't done anything here. And I'm thinking of just taking a long strip of something to enhance it. And so I'm looking through my scrap papers here. It could even be old music paper that was coming apart, pages were missing. Let's do it this way. And I don't want this top showing. And figure out about where to cut it. Okay. This is really, I won't measure anything. I'd rather not. I'd rather use the book itself as the template. All right. Theoretically, that will work. But to add interest, I'm going to tear the inside portion of this. And what has amazed me, for about 6 months, I watched YouTubers doing this exact thing. And I thought, that cannot be that strong. I mean, certainly it's not as strong as this guy, right? You would think, yes. But by the time you put the glue in between, you'd be surprised how much stronger this becomes. So, yeah, that's how I felt about it. So I just took it on faith and tried it. And now it's the same odd thing that happens when we tea or coffee dye paper. It changes its cellular structure or something. I don't know. I just know it works and that they weren't fibbing. Or that they didn't print their sheet music onto cardstock. All right, now I'm going to, just a second. So that I don't get glue on any other pages, I'm going to do this. Yeah. This is like kindergarten glue and paste. If you don't get it on your sleeves and everything, you're not trying. Okay, that way I can see the edge well and not have it confused with the other pages underneath. Okay, use our wallpaper tool. All right, already it's a lot stronger than this part.
Mm-hmm.
You can hear the difference. Okay, I'm probably going to put something else here. I really hate this. This is bugging me. So I'm thinking of something from my florals. And we shall see what we shall see. If I outline that in brown ink, as I normally do, that might be intriguing. Don't know until we audition a few things. I wonder what Heather's doing today. I hope she's totally relaxing and having fun. I imagine she is. I didn't really like the orange with what we're doing in this book, but I like the size of it.
Yeah.
It's kind of tricky work, isn't it?
Yeah, if you got something that could fill in between the two bars of music all the way up, make it.
Yeah.
Have you got any colored lace or?
Oh,
Now
I have.
that's not bad.
Yeah.
There's not quite as much orange.
Yeah. Let's keep looking. I've got a ton of stuff here. There's pink, but it's not as tall. Unless. Yeah, I don't like that. This is what half of the time that you spend in your craft room is figuring out what am I going to use there.
We're this far now. Where do we go?
Yeah, exactly. We were down this rabbit hole in particular. Man, I have plenty of options. They're just not very tall. And this one's curvy. So far, we kind of like this one the best.
Yeah, I think.
All right. And do we want it off center? Or do we want it on point?
Off center.
You like
Yeah.
off center?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, good. So far, the crowdsourcing has worked. Oh, here's a tall. No, let's see. Now imagine that we've outlined it. It's pretty dull, isn't it? This is better.
Yeah, I like that little splash of color, but you don't want to overdo.
Yeah, I think that's the one. And there's that. Well, that's that same big, humongous one. All right, that's the one we shall use. Let me put this back in the drawer. And we'll ink it up. So the base are the pages, and I would not normally sew them into the book until later, because sometimes you have to do things like let's say I wanted to stencil with a very light sepia tone across all of this or most of it, moving the stencil here and there. It's hard to do it when it's already in the book.
Yeah.
So, yeah. All right. Do I want to tone that white down or not? I think it's good.
I think it's good like that.
Yeah. We can always do stuff later if necessary. Okie dokie, artichoke is. Blanche, our wonderful stepmother, used to say. Okay. Off center it is. Slightly. Now this I have to be careful with, because I think that one petal needs a little more glue. All right, so these are the kinds of things we do on the inside of a journal to make it intriguing. There's plenty of room to journal around all of this or to tell quite a lengthy story. This is a different kind of a way to attach something. Hi, Donna. Good to see you. There we go. Yeah, hi. And, okay. Anyway, so a journaling card, and puffins have a thing. They're a thing in our family. I don't know why. It just is over the years. So it's a different kind of an over the edge, but I still have to strengthen that side. And the very last part I have already strengthened with a tuck spot. I just don't have anything tucked in it. So now you get the concept, perhaps, of the fun of embellishing your journal. All right. This second signature has a couple of other designs of embellishments. This first part is an over-the-top tuck spot for journaling cards that's just basically one long piece of paper, double-sided, just folded in half. That's how in this reveal of the pocket, it looks intriguing. It's mix and match. And I'm using, remember when we did this and I did my attempt at stamping? Well, I wanted to show you, these are very bright colors and they don't go with the colors that we have in mind for this whole journal. These are more subdued. Well, that's where using a blending brush, and this is a makeup brush, comes in with this same ink. Now, this is a little heavy-handed right there, but it's okay. But do you see how I can just age it?
Oh, that's neat.
Yeah. So things that aren't quite your color, but they sort of are, how's that? Can be modified.
Now, don't take this the wrong way, but that brings a whole new concept of putting lipstick on a pig.
I hear you. I've learned to take a lot of what you say with a grain of salt, Andrew.
Sweetheart, try a truckload, not a grain.
Yeah,
You
probably
do much
true.
better.
Probably true. So now it's the same colors, but we've toned them down.
Mm-hmm.
So, old makeup brush. Well, it wasn't old. I bought it to go with to do this exact task because I don't use that kind of makeup. All right, but it's going to be essentially very hidden when we use this double flip pocket. And I'm going to permanently keep this unusual kind of a paper clip as part of the design. But I do want to pretty this up a little bit. I think it's just boring the way it is. And so we may add any kind of lace. I have gobs of lace and ribbons, and I've initially used that same brown lace to pretty up this particular item. It's all about the embellishments that you add left, right, up and down, etc. Okay, let's see what else this particular signature has.
Okay, I've got a question for you.
Yeah.
That piece of lace, were you going to run it up and down or do it across like a,
Okay. Yeah,
on the front side, if you do it on the back and attach it to the paper clip, so when it comes off, the lace comes off too. But when you put it, I put it right up under the paper clip and have it like a valance, or
Yeah.
like that. Then have the paper clip over it. Then the way you could take the paper clip off and the lace comes off too.
Yep. Or you could glue it
Yeah.
and have it be permanent.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Now, if I did that, I would probably go get a couple, one medium size and two tiny size little 3D flowers that I've made. That's actually a good idea. I'm just going to cut it right here since it fits perfectly this way. I love it when a plan comes together. It's a very thick lace. Yeah. Yeah, and that'll remind me of what the plan is for this, because I think that's cool. I do. I think that's cool.
Yeah.
All right, so let me show you this particular item. This was something that one of my favorite journal making personages, Gail Augustinelli, dreamed up. Watch what happens when I open this flip. Then you pull this, you do this, you do that. Now you've discovered the family story and there's room to journal all around. Okay.
Oh, that is neat. Yeah, especially for a group picture. Gives you lots of room to describe everybody.
Who's there and everything. Yeah. So basically we just started with a 12-inch square, 12 by 12 piece of actually very light paper. It's just like the weight of printer paper. It just happens to be decorated on one side. We cut out the four corners and use them elsewhere. This last one has to go in last because it has the little tiny slit in which to receive this. Right. Okay. I thought that was pretty cool. She dreamed that up about a week or so ago. All right. Here's another, I don't like this color here, but here's another tuck spot, and it needs help. It needs all kinds of help. And I might like this in there for a journaling card, which could inform what color I use. And let me pull out some. What you do is you cut these things out in advance so that you have them to audition, as opposed to having printed them out on a 8.5 by 11 piece of paper and keeping it in a file folder. Don't like that color, but I might like this. But I really want something oblong. Ugh. Okay. Not perfect, but we're looking. Oh, here's an oblong one with a little bird on it. Just have to trim the edges. So we shall do that. So basically, once or twice a month, when Mr. Myrt and I are watching a movie, I sit there in my recliner and cut a whole bunch of this stuff out, not knowing if I'll ever actually use them, because some of them are really tiny. But they're there to make it easier to audition. There goes my voice. Okay, let me get a little something else. Let me mute myself for a minute. Okay, so we have already some music, so I don't want to use music on there, but I might want to use a little bit of old book page that I can kind of tear down as part of the background here for that item. So it's a matter of just figuring out a little design like this. All right, so that's probably how I'd glue it.
Okay, now a question. When you start to glue down that flower,
Mm-hmm.
Are you going to trim the insides of those so more of the background shows through, or are you going to have that whole white thing showing?
Okay, it's light green, but it looks white to you. I could do it at this point. But you understand why I didn't initially, because
Yeah,
then I would lose those little edges.
because it's so fragile, you don't want to do that actual last trim until you get ready to glue it down.
Yeah. All right, let's see what it looks like. Sometimes you like doing that, sometimes you don't. It all depends. It depends, Cousin Russ. All right, let's go down this side to precisely that point. Okay, that's just the beginning. Let's see if we're going to like that. Yeah, I think we will. Let me fix the other side. That was a good question, Andy, because there have been times when I didn't want something to show through. But this wasn't the top layer that was going to be layered over on top of that type of a thing. It just depends. Okay. Here we go. Now, some people go right along the edge of the color. I don't think it's bad to have a slight little border, as long as the edges aren't pointed. All right, let's see how we like that. Do we want some, a little teeny bit of this cheesecloth behind it or no? Let's try it, just to see. You never know. And we can always cut it down even more. What do you think of that? Got to scooch over a little.
Not bad.
Not bad.
Yeah, I think
Okay.
you got it.
All right.
By George, she's got
it. Oh. And that is from, is it from My Fair Lady?
Yeah.
Yep. I think so. By George, I think she's got it. Then there's the move their blooming, you know what,
Oh, yes.
incident.
At the racetrack. Yeah, I love
Yep.
that scene.
I know. Okay. Okay. Now this guy's going in about here. I'm going to use a little bit of this. This turns clear, and this is just to help hold down this. We can always trim more off once we put the flower on it. But I found if I just put the glue on the back of the flower, there won't be enough to hold this guy in place, the cheesecloth. Whoops, I'll put the lid back on. Okay. In fact, I want to trim this soon, like now. I don't want it to be perfect, but I want it to be something. All right, let's zoom in just for this one part. Hard to see the cheesecloth, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's there. We can see it.
Oh, good. This is where this glue comes in handy. You have to do little tiny spots like that. Okay. Could put a bigger bird, but I'm not going to overthink it, or I'll be here all day.
Yep.
Okay, it's slightly crooked. Dang, let me see if I can pull it up quick. It's that this is crooked. But so we'll just let it be. Okay, I don't like that purple there. Let's just turn it this way and fake ourselves out. Okay. That's a good page. Might antique around all the edges of these with the ink. I'm not sure if I want to put this here or not. Might be too much like the other one.
Yeah.
All right, let me zoom out again a little bit. Okay. All right, so the next thing, I want to tell you about a belly band. That is a belly band and works like a tuck spot beautifully. But this is a perfect place to add one of those clusters. Let me get these guys out of the way. Where's my little thing of clusters?
How do you keep it from falling out the bottom of the journal?
This is pretty tight. Watch.
Oh, I guess it is. Okay.
Yep. It's flat, has glue on each side. It doesn't have a gusset underneath. So as long as you put enough cards here or whatever, that they are held in place.
Okay.
That's why you wanted layered, right?
You bet.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see if we like one of these or not for this spot. We may not. Boy, that orange keeps cropping up, and I'm not really an orangey girl. There's one with a little music, kind of plain. Or you could put lace going across here, a thin bit of lace. See if I have any. Let's try this. Haven't opened this one yet, apparently. There's 59 ways to do everything around here.
Yes.
Okay, now we have to find the end. Put in the middle, the bottom. I don't know. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I think across the belly band works.
Yeah, let's let it work. Okay. All right. In this case, I'm going to go this way because I'll do better on getting it straight. Put these away. Okay. All right. Luckily, this has lines so I can tell. Where's my glue? Here we go. Hangs down just a little. You know, if I thought this was too white, it's actually cream colored, I might ink it up as well. But I'm just going to put it here and we'll see what happens. Can always adjust later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You could ink it up or you could do a tea dye thing on it.
Oh, totally. Yeah. All right. Katie says, this is her favorite part of the movie. I get that. Apparently, I cut this a little bit long. So after this dries, I'll trim this edge. Maybe I can do it now. I just don't want to get my scissors glued up.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, now here's that triangular tuck spot, but instead of at the top, it's on the side. And I'm going to have to do the antiquing work because this is copper colored and I'm out of the darker brown. So I'm going to have to do that. But you see how I'm trying to have a recurring theme with the same kind of, yeah. Okay, that'll be fine. And this is a tuck spot that I made out of what was going to be a journaling card. It's better contrast of colors. It already has the hole punched, so I'm probably going to go ahead and put some ribbon or lace in its usual place. Let's see if I can do this. All right. My son-in-law is going to be 52 tomorrow. So guess what he wants to do on his birthday? Run 22 miles. I'm going to, he's a runner, and so are two of his
more
sons.
power to him.
Yeah. Plus he's a diabetic that has to have an insulin pump and a constant glucose monitor. All right. Now, whenever I add any ribbon or sari silk or something to the top of a card where there's a little hole that's been punched, I always put a little touch of the glue. And this is too long, but I needed it long in order to do the knot. Okay. All right. And each of these things are just to look intriguing. This is not a black and white printed family group sheet, is it? This is, all right. I think this is the last part. Oh yeah, this goes here. I had thought of using this frame, but it's very thick. It's cardboard, and it's by Tim Holtz. But I think that instead of putting the paper flowers, that I'm going to get some clear acetate. There's nothing here, and put one of my dried flowers there, because I think that'll be pretty. How's our time?
Yeah. 52.
Okay, so I gotta do it on camera. I can do it. You can even do it with plastic Ziploc bag. Yeah, I think that's what I'll do. But I have to go get the flowers. So let's see what we've got. Well, there's a lone blossom, and another one fell out. That's too big. This one's too little, theoretically. Got a problem here. That's going to show. All right, let me move this stuff. Okay, very carefully move that little guy. Okay, these are just greens. So excited I can get some more done this year. Ooh, there's several possibilities here. Although I kind of like this one because it's looking sideways as opposed to this one or that one where it's head on.
Yeah.
Let's try combination. Whoop. Oh my God. Can you just see how delicate that is? And the color has managed to survive this particular, that's too big almost. Or put it by itself with some greenery and not the sideways one. Yeah, I don't know. Let's see what else we have. It's the nerve-wracking part of it. Here we go. These are, you just hate to move these, you know? Oh, I broke part of its stem. You try the best you can. Okay. Let's see what we're going to end up doing. Don't like that this is showing. Let's see if we can put on this. Nope, that's worse. Okay. I have to fish or cut bait here, don't I?
Yep.
Ugh. Okay, none of these are the leaves that go with pansies. So let's see what else I can find. And these are not the leaves that go with a pansy. Okay.
No, but Myrt, that one that you just touched,
Yeah.
you could put it in if you didn't want that stuff showing in the bottom of the frame. Put the
Yeah.
leaf down so the leaf covers that, and then put the whatever flower you want above it on that leaf.
Okay. All right. Let's work with that in mind. Okay, let me move this one without killing it.
Yeah.
Okay. I always hold my breath when I'm moving these because they're so delicate, but they really can make or break something. All right,
Mhm.
let me get my get some acetate of some sort.
Mike says non-botanists won't notice that the leaves don't match.
Oh, good point.
Yeah.
All right. So when Heather sent me one of her watercolors, I had this big, it was wrapped in this. And this is what I'm going to use for the clear part. Oh, I put away the blossom. I'll have to go get it. So let me first of all cut this. Oh, there we go. Cut this. I only need one layer, but I'm going to cut it now. Okay, and this is fine. Alrighty. Now, you only need one layer, Myrt. You can do this. All right, I have a whole drawer full of nothing but this kind of plastic, whatever you want to call it. All right, let's rearrange things here on the desk. I have a little bit of space to think about this. Okay, so the first thing we want to do is take this and fit it to the back perfectly. I cut it a little large, so we're going to cut it slightly smaller. Okay, and the same on this side because it goes right to the edge, so we just need a little bit off. Okay. How's that looking? Okay, good. All right, so I'm going to put the glue on the acetate itself, right on the edge. Boy.
That's weird. That acetate's so clear. It just all I'm seeing is just the white lines. It looks like it runs right between, just a line of glue between your thumb and forefinger.
Yeah, and I'm just magic and making it suspend in air like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so now we've made our window.
Okay.
All right, that's going to protect it. All right, and I put away the blossom. Let me go get that blossom. Okay, not that one. And did we agree I was going to do the head-on shot? Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, come on. All right. Now I really have to sit up straight to try to figure this out. where I'm going to be putting this guy. That's a brilliant idea. Pull it down just to, it's so fragile. I already broke a part off, but it'll be fine. Dang. All right, we're going to try it again. Get it to the edge. We know that's the problem part.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay, let me just do the overview. Nope, got to turn this. Our fingers are big and clunky in this endeavor. All right. I don't care what I cut off below, but that'll do the job.
Mm-hmm.
All right, now let's get this little sweetie. I don't know if I can balance it. And is there a right or a wrong side? Oh, definitely. That's the back side. Try not to ruin it. All right. Put a little glue. Wherever it lands is basically where it lands. You only need a drop. Same here. And same here. Luckily, this glue dries clear. Okay, now we know that we're going to cut off part of this. Oh, this is turning out beautifully.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's the way.
That's it.
Okay, now we're going to cut this a little bit shorter than that. Okay. I'd have a little glue coming through on this. Got to clean this up. Baby wipes. Okay. We're going to put the glue on it. Okay, hold your breath. We'll see how it goes. I have to get right on top of it. Okay.
Yep.
It took a
Well,
village, but we
yep.
did it.
Yep.
Oh, we did it.
Oh, that's great.
All right. That's going to be wonderful. When before we go, I want to show you what I'm going to do on the cover. So I've already designed that. It's already buried under here. Putting some more of the cheesecloth, which I'm going to trim. Oh, I'm so proud of this. Remember how nervous I was about doing that? Oh, geez. I can do hard things. Okay. Put this here. Where's the other piece? We're missing a part. This is going to go here, like a specimen number. All of this will get inked on the edges. And I am missing one little, oh, here it is. I'm not selling toothache drops, but it has the right colors for a little bit of distinction. So I'm just going to set it there. She won't really, you and I will know it's toothache advertisement from an old newspaper, but I just want that little flourish. Let me zoom in a little. Whoops, wrong way. I want this little flourish to come through here and there. And again, you know what I'm going to do with that white space, some of it. Some
Yeah.
of it I don't want to get rid of
Right.
because I don't want them to know what that's all about.
Yeah.
So basically, that's it for today. And this is what I will have in place to share with our Heather. Heather Crafter will be back next week, unless she decides to retire up in the mountains where she is right now. Anything we should be mentioning, Cousin Russ?
I think we got it. It looks like great project.
Yeah, it was a nerve-wracking thing because I've only done a couple of these myself. But they're so worth the aggravation and effort. I mean, it wasn't hard to deal with once I just, said, just bite the bullet and do it, Myrt. Yeah. Anyway, I don't normally make journals this big, but I wanted to try this new technique of using that heavy canvas, the lightweight fabric, and stitching around the edge that one of my journaling people taught me on YouTube. You can learn anything on YouTube just about, can't you? I don't know. I think so. Anyway, hey folks, thanks so much for being with us today and checking in and keeping it going forward while our Heather's away. I love meeting with her because she's so inspiring. And you all were inspiring me today to have courage to go forward with this project. Nothing left to say, but I'm Dear Myrtle, your friend in genealogy. Happy family tree climbing and journaling, everybody. That's a wrap. Instagram.